my name is Angela. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. I'm really happy to have you here. And I can't wait to talk to you about a topic today that I know is so common for females as they hit their 40s and beyond, and that is low libido. I know so many women that suffer from this and the consequences that come along with it. And I know personally from also having dealt with this myself that it can be absolutely just debilitating to not only you, but if you have a partner, it can really sometimes cause a lot of rifts in your relationship. And I just want to let you know that there is a way to get a solution to your low libido. You don't have to just accept it and think that this is a time period in life where hormones are changing, you're aging, you're getting older, and maybe it's just normal for your libido to go down. And maybe it never is actually meant to come back up to where you would like it to be. But I do want to let you know that this isn't the case, that there are many females that go through this transition in their 40s into perimenopause, menopause, and beyond with wonderful active sex lives. They maintain their libido. Their relationship can get even closer, especially if you do have children or a busy household and they leave the house, they leave the home, and you're able to actually pay more attention to your partner and your intimacy. Things can just get better and better. But if you don't have the libido, and that really does affect the physical connection with your partner, things can go in the opposite direction. And I know the pressure and stress this can put on not only you, but your partner if you have one. So really important to figure out what is the root cause of your low libido. Where is it coming from? I know that often women will try things to get their libido back. They think that there's something wrong with them. They feel guilty. They feel sad. I know some women tell me they just feel like a fraction of themselves because for some reason they just don't have that drive anymore. So they try different supplements. They try sometimes even medications. They add hormones to try and see if they can get that sex life and that drive going again. But for some women, this just absolutely doesn't work. And the reason for that is because they haven't discovered the root cause of where the low libido is coming from in the first place. So I want to just let you in on a few secrets as to what I've seen in my practice over the years and how I've learned both personally and with many clients how to start getting that libido back. And so why does our hormones start to affect our libido as we get older? What is really going on here? That's the first thing to understand. So as we get into our 40s, I mean, even before this, 35 to 40 and beyond, our female sex hormones are starting to lower. So, estrogen and progesterone are our primary female sex hormones. And then we also do have some male sex hormones, such as testosterone. And, all three of these together in combination and when they're balanced do contribute to a healthy libido. But as we start to age, these hormones do start to decline. However, for some people, the hormones will be out of balance. So they're not just declining, but they're out of balance at the same time. And this is something that can really disrupt your libido at quite an early age, not even just with that transition into menopause, but it can happen even before 40. So this condition with the hormones being out of balance that's most common is called estrogen dominance. It's when our bodies as females have too much estrogen relative to the other sex hormones. And if the estrogen is really high, what this does is it starts to promote inflammation. So, not just in relation to our hormones, which we think is the main connection to our libido, but it creates inflammation throughout our bodies in our gut. And our gut has a close interaction with our brain. So, we even can get inflammation all the way through up into our brain from this, believe it or not. And what happens with this sometimes is we also have some chemical signalers and messengers that communicate with our brain that really help us to stimulate that libido and that drive. And so one of these chemical signalers is called serotonin. You may or may not have heard of it. But once we start to have these estrogen levels get really high, inflammation gets high systemically, it starts to shut down that production of serotonin and that communication between the gut and the brain where the serotonin is made to actually help us have that feeling of having libido and drive. So one of the solutions is going to come from actually helping rebalance estrogen, but not just thinking of the hormones, but thinking of where is that inflammation coming from? Is it coming from the hormones themselves, or is it coming from somewhere else in our body? And 9 times out of 10, this inflammation is coming from our gut. And it often has to do with lifestyle things, such as eating foods that are maybe promoting more inflammation, like too many carbohydrates, too much sugar. Maybe we're drinking too much alcohol. Maybe we're staying up too late at night, so our inflammation's not rebalancing in the night. So things like this can have a very large contributing factor to inflammation throughout our bodies. And one of the end results can be this estrogen dominance, estrogen too high relative to our other sex hormones. And again, it can almost block and shut down that serotonin production. and that ability to communicate with the brain in regards to stimulating libido. So the solution really is going to come from lifestyle factors and adjusting those, such as eating an anti-inflammatory food plan. So lowering the sugars, lowering the simple carbohydrates, eating lots of fruits and vegetables, that kind of thing. Getting enough exercise, getting enough sleep. So some of it is related to the basics, and it can take some time to get things adjusted this way, depending on how out of balance they are. One other thing that can happen sometimes too, in regards to the sex hormones as we age, is our testosterone levels can lower, and they can lower quite quickly for some females. And there's various different reasons that this can happen. Sometimes it is even actually genetic, or there's some genetic predisposition to having testosterone levels either being really, really high as a female or really low. But if they start to lower as a result of age, and they maybe weren't even that high to start with, potentially, testosterone is something that definitely gives us drive, and it gives us drive in several different areas of our life, but including sex drive. So often some of the solutions can come from helping us boost our testosterone levels. And I do know some females, they do actually go on hormone replacement therapy for testosterone for this exact reason. For some females, this works. For some females, this backfires. And their body, if it's not processing the testosterone correctly, they can end up with some of these androgen type symptoms, such as acne, facial hair, hair on their chest or around their nipples or their abdomen, places that they don't want the hair to grow, obviously, as a female. So then we have to think of what are some other possible solutions for this. And one of the main ways to actually boost testosterone levels, especially as we age, is to maintain and improve our muscle mass. So, of course, everyday exercise is important for all of us. But from a testosterone perspective, you can actually stimulate more testosterone production naturally without bringing in extra hormone to your body by doing resistance training. So, this can be really important for some females more so than others. And how are we going to know what the root cause of where these symptoms are coming from with low libido, especially from a hormonal perspective? We need to do some lab testing. So, as a functional medicine practitioner, I always work with women in a way that we check what's happening on your labs. We determine what the root cause of your source of the issue is and your symptoms. And then from there, we develop an individualized plan to help you heal the root cause of your symptoms. Not just treat the symptom, not just manage it, but actually treat the root of it so that you can get the balance back, not only in your symptoms, but you can actually rebalance your overall wellness and you can feel better than you've ever felt in your life. So, this is possible as we age as females, even if we're going through this transition from perimenopause to menopause and beyond. And, I know that it is absolutely devastating to feel that you have lost that lack, or you have that of libido, that lack of lust. You just don't have the desire anymore. And I know that it can be devastating, very damaging to a marriage, to a relationship. And I know it can sometimes really start to affect your self-worth, and you can start to feel quite guilty, as to why you don't want to, engage with your partner that way in with intimacy and closeness and that kind of thing. So, the consequences can be quite devastating. So, we want to make sure that there is a way for you to get that balance back in your body, restore your libido, improve your sex life. It can get better with age, it doesn't have to go downhill. So, if you want to know more about how this could happen for you, please feel free to reach out to me. You can go to my website at www.angelasimpsonfunctionalmedicine.ca. You can book a complimentary consult there, and I'm happy to speak with you about the symptoms that you have around hormonal imbalance. It could be libido that's out of balance or low, or it could be something else. I'm happy to speak to you about it on a call and see if it will be a good fit for us to work together to come up with a solution for you to heal your body for the long term. And if you are interested in more YouTube videos from me, I'll be really happy to bring you to the next episode. So I hope you're able to click through and look at the next one I have. Thank you so much for being here and have a good rest of your day.